Hope Equine Rescue is devoted to the care and placement of unwanted, abused, and neglected horses. Their goal is to provide for the horses when no one else can or will. They are putting hope back into the lives of horses one at a time, and their story is coming up on Polk Place. Welcome to Polk Place. I'm your host, Jeremy Morady, and with me here is Danny Horton, who's president of Hope Equine Rescue. And thank you so much for coming in. Sure do appreciate it.
Thank you for inviting us.
Well, you guys are just an incredible organization that gives so much hope to horses out there that have been neglected or abused. I'd like you to talk a little bit about how you came to be and what all you guys do.
I personally have been in horses my whole life. I grew up in the industry. I was a national ranked competitor for many years, and we saw a need in our community with a lot of horses that did not have anywhere to go, that were either starved or unwanted, or just no longer wanted in the home that they were in. So we come up as a plan as a family and said, look, we can help these horses. We have a really good network of people that we can work with, and we can rehab them and we can find them the appropriate homes. And that's kind of where it started. It started out really small, and then it just kind of snowballed, and now we're this really large organization that has helped over hundreds of horses. So
now, have you guys always been based in Polk County?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
That's wonderful. What kind of steps do you go through in selecting horses for rehab, and what's that process like?
We normally try to take the worst of the worst because of my background and my family's background, and we have a really good network of people. We can take the horses that a lot of organizations can't. We can take the horses with severe training issues, aggression issues, those kind of things, because we have the skills and the ability to rehab them. We also take the severe medical cases. We have a really good vet that works with us, and we have a lot of experience as well, so we can rehab them. And we try to take the ones that really truly have nowhere else to go. We worked quite a bit with law enforcement, because once they go into law enforcement, once they go out and they seize these animals and they go into county holding, they only have a couple of options. One is to go up to auction, or they can be signed over to a nonprofit. We try to keep them from going to auction because we're really not sure what kind of person, if the person has any horse experience or anything like that, will be getting these horses.
Or if they're going right back into what they came from.
Correct, and they can go right back into the same situation. So our goal is to try to keep them from going to auction so we don't have to worry about them another year down the road. We know that they're safe, and we know that they will always have a good home.
Okay. Now, can you explain a little bit about what that process is like in rehabbing a horse? I mean, I know it's got to be heart-wrenching when you first get them.
It's very difficult. We'll bring them in. We do a full evaluation from everything from their disposition to a medical evaluation by our vet. And unfortunately, sometimes we get them in and they're just too far gone. There's nothing we can do. The quality of life is not there. There's nothing we can do to make these horses healthy and happy again. So we do have to euthanize the ones that we can't save. We have the vet humanely euthanize them. The others we will put into our rehabilitation program. It normally takes us about, depending on the severity of the case, about 60 to 90 days to get them healthy weight and get all their medical things taken care of, like their vaccines. We have to float their teeth. Horses get very sharp points, and then they can't chew their food properly, so we have to do teeth care. Their hooves have to be taken care of. We do all those kind of things. And then once they're healthy, we start them into our training program. So if they have any bad issues, any vices or anything, we work on those and we try to get them as adoptable as possible. We work with a local trainer who helps us, he puts them under saddle and gets them going under saddle really well. And then that way when we adopt them out, they have a lot of riding time on them and those kind of things.
Oh, that's great.
It's very intense, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty incredible there. Now, how big is your organization right now?
Well, right now, we actually just took in 8 horses over the past 2 weeks from the sheriff's office. So right now we're at 26 horses.
Okay. those guys eat a lot too.
Yes, absolutely.
So I know that the cost for that go up. Now, I know you guys are always looking for volunteers and things like that, but if you can talk about, you know, your volunteers that you need, but also where do you keep all these guys? I mean, 8 horses, that's a lot to take in.
Yeah, we have, well, we have our facility in Auburndale. We also have a large pasture that our vet lets us use at his facility in Plant City. And then we have foster homes that are scattered throughout the county as well. So what we normally try to do is we try to bring in the worst cases come into our main facility, so we can get them rehabbed, and then when they're healthy, we try to get them out into foster homes until we get them adopted. Okay. So yeah, it's a lot of logistics, working everything around. Sure. The 8, we had to kind of move them things around and make room, but it was a pretty severe neglect case, and they needed a safe place to go, so we made it happen.
Now I'm kind of curious, when you have a group of 8 like that, all come from the same place, are they connected to each other at all? I mean, do they have those types of relationships that make it any more difficult?
They can, and we have had some cases. With this one, we had one group was 6 and the other group was 2. And in some cases, we have had them so bonded together that they have to stay together. Normally, we can separate them because a lot of times they haven't been together very long. So, you know, we can, and as this group has a couple of babies under 2 years old in the group, so we have to wean them and those kind of things. So those we will be able to separate, they'll be fine. But they do get really close and they do get bonds. So every once in a while, we'll get a situation where we have to keep them together, and that makes it very, very difficult to adopt them out. We had a pair of horses come in several years ago, and they were elderly, they were in their late 20s, and when we finally did some background and some research, somebody saw their pictures on our Facebook page and recognized them, and they sent us all their information. They had been together since they were born. They had been together their entire lives. So we were very fortunate to find a home that would take both of them. So we were because we could not have split them. They were been together over 20 years. Yeah. There's no way we could split them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't. They wouldn't survive. They would go in depression. It would be really bad. So.
Yeah. Well, you guys utilize a lot of volunteers with the work that you do. Can you talk a little bit about, one, your need for them, but also, two, some of the types of work that, you know, they could expect to do if there's somebody that's, you know, watching that, you know, would be interested?
We have, we get a lot of volunteers that have no horse experience, which is great. We like to bring new people into the horse industry. And what we do normally, these are volunteers that possibly want to get a horse eventually and they want to learn about horses. And our volunteers do a very wide range of things. We do everything from hands-on care. They do grooming, doctoring sick horses. They help with the training as well. We have a training program with our volunteers, and our volunteers, I oversee it, and they will help us get, like the group that we just had come in, we have numerous of that group that are not halter broken. They've never even had a halter on, and they've had very little human interaction. So to get them adoptable, they need a lot of work. So our volunteers will help us with that. They help us with fundraisers, help just spread the word, network our horses, our adoptable horses, hand out flyers, online, help share and network online. So we have a whole range of different things our volunteers can do. And some of it's a lot of hard manual work. Horses are not easy to care for. There's a lot of stall cleaning, scrubbing water buckets, a lot of hot, it's Florida, it's hot, a lot of hot, tiring work. But it's important because we have to keep our horses healthy.
Oh, sure, and especially with what they're coming from, you don't want to. You want to give them a nice environment that they're going to feel comfortable in, and rehab a little bit better. Well, now you had mentioned that you guys do a lot of fundraisers, and you guys have one coming up now, don't you?
Yes, we have one. Our next big fundraiser is going to be September 5th. We have partnered with a local boarding stable here in Polk County called Time to Shine Equestrian Center, and they're going to be putting on a big horse show to help raise funds for the rescue. Not only raise funds for the rescue, but promote all the horses that are available for adoption as well. So we're hoping to bring in other rescues from around the state too, to bring in their horses, and we have a whole bunch of horses on display that are adoptable. And then people that have their own horses can come in and show as well. And then all the funds from this benefit will go to the horses in our rescue.
Okay, how many? I've been familiar with dog rescues and things like that. never really with horse rescues.
Yeah.
So there's multiple of these around the state then?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you guys run a pretty tight network on?
Yeah, we try to network as much as possible. There's a really big need for horse rescues right now. We have an overflow of horses, and you said you're familiar with the dogs. You know,
Sure.
with dogs and cats, you can just take your dog or cat if you no longer want it or can't take care of it. You can go. You've got the Humane Society, the SPCA, the Pound. You can go and drop those animals off. There's nowhere you can just go drop a horse off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they can house hundreds of dogs in one building. You can't have, you have hundreds of horses, you need many, many acres of land. So it's not as easy with the horses as it is with the dogs and cats. So, you know, we're really struggling right now more than ever because of the overabundance of unwanted horses that we have. We're all trying to network together and save as many as possible. So we try to network with, you know, like-minded organizations, and we do as much as we can. I actually have networked with rescues across the country. We just did a huge rescue here at the beginning of the year with some donkeys that needed a place to stay, and there was 150 of them total, and we were able to network with rescues all across the country, and they were dispersed everywhere. We took in 10, another rescue here in Florida took 11, and we placed them all over the country.
Okay, well, so now with the your event, the Labor of Love Benefit Horse Show that's coming up in September, these other organizations around the state will be there as well. What kind of charge is it to come in, to attend?
There is no charge to come attend.
Okay.
There's no spectator fee or anything like that. It is if you want to show the classes, there's a whole list of different classes that you can show your horse in. Each class is $6, or you can show the entire day, as many classes as you want for $50. There will be raffles and food and all kinds of different things. And like I said, there will be many horses there that will be available for adoption. So if somebody's looking for a horse, this would be a great place to go look at a bunch of horses and see if they can find something they're looking for.
Now, if you're bringing your horse to show, it doesn't necessarily need to be a rescue horse, does it?
No.
So
no,
it's
you can
open
bring
to anybody.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
And then we do have a couple of special classes just for rescues. If somebody's adopted a horse from a rescue in the past, they can show in that particular class. So we'll have a little bit of something for everybody.
All right, sounds wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming in to talk about this.
Great. Thank you.
We invite you to check out Hope Equine Rescue's Labor of Love Benefit Horse Show at 9 a.m. Saturday, September 5th at the Time to Shine Equestrian Center at 4000 North Cumbie Road in Lakeland. Spectators are free and class fees are $6 each, or $50 for the entire day. The Labor of Love show will be an open horse show to raise funds for the rescue. It will include halter, Western, English, speed, and fun classes. There will also be horses available for adoption. For more information, contact them by phone at 863-287-7503 or on their website at hopeequinerescue.com.